examinations. It is in order to maintain these high standards that the school is noted for and to ensure that its candidates are amongst the best in certificate examinations that prizes are awarded at the end of each academic year to the most outstanding students.
We wanted to encourage those of the students, the pupils, who really worked hard. To those who didn't do it, let them know that it's important to do this work and to work hard. We also wanted to help the parents by giving books to their children.
The prize award ceremony couldn't have been successful without the assistance of some corporations and friends of the college, a situation which did not leave the college indifferent, as the presence of all the benefactors was highly acknowledged. The training of a qualified manpower capable of boosting development can only be possible by educating children. And quality education should not only be a matter of school authorities and government alone, but the general preoccupation of all. Prize award ceremonies should therefore be organized so that credit should be given both to the students who have distinguished themselves as well as to the most outstanding teachers. This will, in the long run, contribute to lay the foundation of a society where meritocracy is a measuring yardstick.
Meantime, pupils and students nationwide already on holidays have begun occupying themselves with various activities while waiting for resumption of classes come September 2008.
Some do petty trade to earn money, while others prefer to do outdoor games and other leisure activities.
Tony Nanyongo tonight reports on how holidaymakers spend this long third-term vacation.
It is holiday for these children, and they are certainly having a good time. Football or other outdoor games for the little ones, while the older ones do both.
I help my mother since she's selling. I help her to sell. When I come back, I look some activities in the house that have not been done. I do them so that when she comes, she at least be happy with me.
Besides some petty business, they also do other things to earn money for next academic year. This boy, for example, is a student in Douala. He works in a car wash in the Etugebe neighborhood in Yaoundé and says the money he earns would help him buy his school needs in September. For others, holiday is a time to spend with family in the village to learn the dialect, like 10-year-old Lorenda. She says she also learns how to cook, and some days she goes to the farm with her cousins. However, it is not always serious work in the village. Together with friends, they spend good time playing one game or another.
The governor of the East Province, Adolphe Lely-Lafrique, has rounded up a tour of the province with a visit to the iron ore mining site in Balam.
The iron ore site is situated along the border town with the Republic of Congo-Brazzaville and is expected to produce about 1.5 tons of iron ore in the next 20 years.
Matthew Anong Ani trailed the governor and now reports from the East Provincial Station of CRTV.
Governor Lely-Lafrique Adolphe, in a military helicopter from Yaoundé, passed through Saint-Melima and the forest of Njar, over the trees, on hills said to be full of iron ore deposits, and landed at the mining site on Balam 2 safely. Sundance Resources Limited, an Australian company, has been carrying out prospection for the iron ore exploitation for the past 1 year in Balam. While Cam Iron, the company to exploit the mineral, has been on the site since 2005. There are 7 borers that dig holes to look for the mineral. One of such huge machines cost more than 600 million francs CFA. The governor visited the laboratory at the site. Samples extracted are examined at the laboratory, while some are sent back to Australia to further examine the quality. At the working session with the population at Mbalam, Governor Lele Africa Dove said with the mining project, Mbalam will develop very fast economically and socially. He exhorted the 300 workers now on the site and the entire population of Mbalam to live peacefully and collaborate with Cam Iron so that the precious metal be exploited and that poverty be alleviated. The chief executive of the province was satisfied with the visit.
The people of Bambili in the Northwest Province have been called upon to respect the laws of Cameroon and give full support to the development efforts of President Paul Biya.
The CPDM parliamentarian from Omo North, Honorable Fidelis Nji, was speaking recently in Yaoundé while receiving the people of Bambili, who paid him a courtesy visit in honor of his election as Questor of the National Assembly. Luma Slim Davis reports.
It was a moment of joy for the people of Bambili, who in several ways expressed gratitude for the appointment of Honorable Nji Fidelis as Questor at the National Assembly, and for the parliamentarian whose post at the National Assembly is equivalent to that of a Secretary of State. The visit of his in-laws is an honor appreciated deep down.
I'm very delighted with this visit because it comes at the right time. It reminds me that I have people who think about me. Remember that I got into Parliament on the CPDM ticket, and they remember that it's a great thing that I did, and that is in itself supporting my own view, that view which I hold, and I hold the view that in this country now we need to support our head of state, President Paul Biya.
The Bambili people in Yaoundé, through their patron, Peter Abeti, and the president of their development association, Chita David, lauded Honorable Nji Fidelis for his hard work, loyalty, and ability to mobilize people for the ruling CPDM party. The occasion was also an opportunity for the Bambili people to highlight some problems confronting their community, such as schools, back home, and a meeting place in Yaoundé.
We move over to the National Assembly, where a bill to amend and supplement certain provisions of the December 2006 law to set up and lay down the organization and functioning of the elections Cameroon Elecam has been adopted by the National Assembly.
Less than 24 hours to the full application of the law, the effective takeoff of the National Elections Observatory Body has been extended by 6 months according to Section 42(3) of the law.
Esther Kima listened to the heated deliberations which preceded the adoption during a plenary session that held today and now reports.
Elections Cameroon Elecam ought to have gone operational as from June 29 this year, but the mechanisms for setting up its management organs, like the Electoral Board and the General Directorate of Elections, have made it impossible for the deadline of 18 months initially prescribed by the law to be respected. It is within this framework, and with due regards to the constraints of the procedure provided by the law, that the bill extends the period for the effective putting in place of Elecam by 6 months. An extension which was denied in a preliminary objection by the SDF parliamentary group. Honorable Badnadzem decried the expedient manner in which the bill was submitted, tabled and scrutinized in the absence of the SDF parliamentary group leader, and called for the bill to be sent back to the Constitutional Laws Committee for intensive scrutiny. Although this objection was voted against, it nonetheless gave way to a row of motions in which MPs were blamed for abdicating their mission and allowing government to take its people for a ride. What are the reasons advanced for the extension? What has become of the ad hoc commission created to come up with a Elecam? What guarantees the fact that an additional